Monday Night Football in Kansas City, Missouri. Chiefs won the toss. They defer. Washington will receive the opening kick. One guy is in his 27th year overall, 13th in Kansas City. Andy Reid in year number 2. For Dan Quinn with Washington, and plenty to talk about with what the Commanders have been through. What Dan Quinn tried to do this week at practice, looking for a reset after a loss in Dallas. Glad you're with us tonight as Luke McCaffrey will return from the 5. Good return. And across the 40, where he was knocked down by Joshua Williams, but a return of 38 yards and a little shot of life right out of the gate for the Commanders.
Yeah, no question. You get the ball to start the ball game, and you're hoping you get good field position, and Luke McCaffrey provided it.
Here's a resume for Marcus Mariota. He was the former number 2 overall pick in 2015 by the Titans. 29-32 record in 5 seasons in Tennessee. He's bounced around since then. He's making his 3rd start of this season for the injured Jayden Daniels. Quick setup and throw, and a completion. That is Deebo Samuel in a gain of 6 to start the night. We're going to see what the Commanders are doing right now. Right back up near the line of scrimmage. They want to go fast. There's the offensive line and the backs and receivers. They get Samuel and McLaurin back tonight. Both were out last game. Goes. Look like he is, and he is just short of first down yardage. Brian Cook made the tackle, a gain of 3. And Troy will formulate his thought on what we are seeing from Marcus Mariota while we look at his defense. They're good up front. They are really good at the linebacker and defensive back levels.
It's a defense that's been in this system for a number of years, so it allows Spagnuolo to do a lot of different things.
3rd down and 1, and they're able to pick it up on the ground with a rookie Krusty Merritt. And Jacory gets 3.
Pretty good start here for Washington. They get the good field position. They're able to get a new set of downs with that last run. And you mentioned it, Joe, and we heard from Laura Rutledge when she talked about it, that Marcus Mariota, he likes to be at the line. And really more than anything is because he wants to be able to dictate what he's going to get the offense into in terms of a play selection. Doesn't always mean they're going to be playing fast.
Mariota keeps it. Samuel near sideline, trying to make a move on Tranquil, and a decent gain on 1st down. This is the first time that Marcus Mariota, who is in year number 11 in the league, is facing a Steve Spagnuolo defense. So if that's the case, what will he see from the 4-time Super Bowl champion defensive coordinator?
Well, he's going to get a lot of different looks. That's what Steve Spagnuolo has always done. Obviously, he likes to bring pressure, but I think the fact that Washington's going to the no huddle, it's going to take some of the aggressiveness away from Spagnuolo, because he's got to be careful to get caught when he's trying to make a call. So it should simplify some of the things that Kansas City's able to do.
Krusty Merritt able to hesitate. Short gain of 2 is Nick Bolton, who is so good right in the middle. With his Kansas City defense made the stop, and so 3rd down and short coming up.
Yeah, Washington, they've really built this offense around the running game. They did a year ago. This year with Bill Krusty Merritt, he has continued to play at a high level. They just have not been able to get as much out of the passing game. Of course, a big reason for that being the injuries that they've had at wide receiver.
3rd down and 3. Mariota will take it and get it. They have Jeremy McNichols in motion at the snap. A gain of 7 and a good block from left guard Chris Paul.
Yeah, he's going to pull. This is the keeper all the way by Mariota. You can see once he gets it, no hesitation whatsoever. Good blocking downfield. You got linemen getting up to the next level. Just a really good job. And you watch Mariota in here now, his 11th year. He was known as a runner when he came into the league, and still, at his age, he moves awfully well.
Quick throw, McCaffrey out on the edge, getting a block, and a nice gain on first down. Got almost 9. Shamari Connor made the tackle. And it'll be second down and short.
I like what they're doing. They're mixing in the running game. They got the high percentage passing game going and staying ahead of the chains, which is something they've had a hard time doing. There's a look at Cliff Kingsbury and what he's had to endure this year with the injuries to his franchise quarterback, Jaden Daniels. You mentioned this being his third game to miss this year. And then, of course, all Commanders fans know the guys they've been in without. The lead guy being Terry McLaurin.
On second down and 1, a first down carry by Crosby Merritt, who is a great story. He played just one game last year in Arizona. He had eligibility issues, so he stuck around the program and was so invested in the program and loves the game of football so much. He ran as running back on the scout team all year while he was ineligible.
And then at the end of the year, he thanked the coaches for allowing him to do that. And it really speaks volumes, as you mentioned, Joe, one, to keep himself in condition, but also just his pure love for the game.
Here's Samuel, and
Pick off! Yeah.
intercepted by Dana. And just like that, a great opening possession by the Commanders goes up in smoke. Methodically moving it down the field. Debo took his eyes off it. Mike Dana did not. Chiefs ball, no score.
Mike Dana got the interception.
I wrap myself in athletic tape to keep up snacking.
You should try Wonderful Pistachios. They're tasty and healthy.
Pistachios, huh? Delicious. High five.
See you out there.
For the next 30 days, everyone in the country is trying to murder me. And it's crazy, right? Don't you get it? This game is rigged. Everybody out of the street!
There's a look at the interception. You see Debo Samuel right at the last minute. He takes his eyes off the ball and couldn't tell if it came off his helmet or the shield that he wears, but you don't see deflections quite like that. You're right, Joe. They were moving the ball awfully well.
Yeah, that's the last thing a big underdog wants to do, moving the ball well. They get that deflected interception. The first for Mike Dana in his NFL career. He also didn't have one in college at Michigan. You see the numbers this season for Patrick Mahomes. Just 2 interceptions and only 2 turnovers total for this Chiefs offense. Second and 8. Mahomes is sacked. That was Jacob Martin. He's up to 2.5 on the year, and boy, is that what this very injured defense needed.
Yeah, such a great job by Jacob Martin. He's working against Jalen Moore, who's making his third start at left tackle for Josh Simmons, and he just continues to play. And when you watch him, this is what he brings. It's all day that he's going to bring that energy, and he just continued to pursue Mahomes as he got out of the pocket and makes a nice play.
They're down in 10 as a result. Commanders have lost to injury 3 of their top 4 defensive ends. Mahomes can't find anywhere to go with it. Chase, will he get it?
First down. Yeah.
By Jeremy Reeves, and where are they going to put it? Still waiting for a definitive spot, and it looks like they're going to mark him just short.
Well, good coverage by Washington in the secondary, but this is where Patrick Mahomes has been really good this year. When he has had open lanes, here's a look at the end of that play, exactly where the ball was at. It's close.
They have marked him short. It is 4th down. The offense is still out there. An extra offensive lineman comes in, Wanye Morris and Hunter Norzad. And we will get a challenge or a timeout.
Yeah, you saw Andy Reid.
They're first. It will be 30 seconds.
For now, it's a timeout.
Yeah, Andy Reid was
Those
trying to get the
timeouts
play
called by
clock
Andy
reset because they were running out of
Reid.
time. He didn't get it, and so Patrick Mahomes had to burn the timeout.
Checking in with Russell Yerk about the spot. What did you see, Russell? Good spot?
Yeah, Joe, absolutely great spot. His foot touches out of bounds, and the ball is about a foot and a half yard short, or foot and a half yard short of the line of game.
So it's 4th down. The Chiefs have been much more aggressive going for it on 4th down this year, and they've been outstanding on 4th down and short. 9 for 11 on 4th and 2 or less.
Yeah, they've been really good, and the guy who they usually give the ball to is Kareem Hunt. He has been excellent, as you mentioned, Joe, when they've given the ball to him in short yardage goal line situations, picking those up.
Here he is, and he gets it again. Now 8 for 9 on 4th and 2 or less is Kareem Hunt.
Got the first down. Yeah.
So the offensive line, Washington, they're trying to run a slant to the middle. They're coming here, and yet Kansas City's just able to get good movement up front. You see Kareem Hunt. I mean, he's got it picked up before he even makes contact.
That was Laramie Tunsil, the 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle who was walking into the locker room to get looked at. On 1st down now, it is the rookie Brashard Smith, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Johnny Newton made the stop, and he got about half a yard. Take a look at this reshuffled offensive line with Jalen Moore making his 3rd straight start at left tackle. They have Mike Caliendo in for Trey Smith, one of the best guards in the game. And they get Rashid Rice back last week and had a nice game. 7 catches, 2 touchdowns, 42 yards.
Let's go, Mikey, 4 on.
Take it to Hunt. Mahomes wide open is Worthy. Out of bounds at the 26 and a gain of 27.
Just a blown coverage. You see it over and over when it comes to this Washington defense. This time it's going to be Trey Amos, the rookie. As Worthy comes across in motion. Amos is the outside key 3rd player, and he gets caught inside. And Patrick Mahomes, he's as good as anybody in the game at seeing the entire field. And when you turn people loose with the Kansas City Chiefs, he's going to find them.
Here's Worthy, and it's out of his reach. So let's talk Washington. Dan Quinn said during this week he went through a full review after that 44-22 loss at Dallas, looking at personnel, how they're coached, the scheme. He had the starters play against the starters. He put the pads on. He wants more speed on the field, and he says they're just a click slow right now, and we'll see how they get through this game.
Click slow because they're thinking a little too much, and along those lines, Joe, they simplified things defensively, hoping to clean a lot of that up.
Close snap, 2nd and 10, incomplete with Kelsey the target. And Mahomes ends up on his back, pressured by Jacob Martin, who already has a sack.
Yeah, boy, they may have to give Jalen Moore some help because Jacob Martin already in this game has had an impact. And it's one-on-one out there on the edge, and he gets Moore pushed backwards and then takes the inside move and gets right in the face of Patrick Mahomes. Good job by Martin, not coming in with the helmet, leading with the helmet. That's the way they coach him up.
This after the interception on the deflection off the hands and face shield of Deebo Samuel. Now 3rd down and 10.
Hey, 35. Go blue red.
Good protection. The pass is picked off by Lattimore. And boy, did he need that. He was there step for step with Hollywood Brown, and that was a beautiful piece of defensive work. It really was. And Marshawn Lattimore,
Martian Lattimore got interception.
it's been a rough start to the year for number 2. The two teams trade picks, still no score. Our dinner, that's where all the meat went at the table.
Exactly where it all went.
Aikman just killing it at 1587 prime, co-founded by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Had a great dinner there last night.
Sure did. When they rolled in my room, I looked at that.
The interception by Lattimore sets up the Commanders at the 7. Here is a run out across the 10 by Krosky Merritt. Back to the interception.
Yeah, it's a great job by Marshawn Lattimore, who, when they went back and watched the film study, much better when he's up in press coverage. He plays this perfectly. Now, Patrick Mahomes last week on a throw to Rashee Rice talked about that was the first time in the NFL that he had thrown a back shoulder fade, and it looked like he was trying to do that again on that play. But, boy, the defense, they've had a tough go, and you needed them to step up on the road against a formidable opponent like Kansas City. And Lattimore, who's been hit on a little bit, comes up with a big play.
Here is a toss to Krosky Merritt. They're playing without Laramie Tunsil right now as Brandon Coleman is taking over. Let's go down to Laura Rutledge.
Yeah, Joe, we are seeing that Laramie Tunsil is still in the locker room right now. He's questionable to return with a right hamstring injury. As you said, Coleman is out there. They have a lot of confidence in him. We'll keep an eye on Tunsil's return.
Well, the good news is that Brandon Coleman, who fills in for him, he had 15 starts last year at left tackle. This year he began the season at left guard, but he's got experience at the left tackle position.
They're down in 2. Mariota has to take off and now has a receiver wide open. Catch is made. That's McNichols. And a big gain on 3rd and 2. Mariota found him along the sideline and a catch and run of 24.
It's a good job by Marcus Mariota. You got Nick Bolton right here. You're going to see he kind of gets caught up in the wash. When Terry McLaurin comes off the line of scrimmage, he pushes up, and then Bolton's just a step late trying to get over there, and the ball's on top of him, and he's able to get the ball and run after the catch. So good execution by Washington.
To his right, Tranquil cannot bring him down, and along the sideline, McCaffrey. And just perfection from Mariota, and good work by McCaffrey along the sideline.
Yeah, that's an excellent job by him, just knowing exactly where he is. He gets his toes down, makes the catch, and quite honestly, Joe, with the injuries that they've had at wide receiver, Luke McCaffrey, he only had 8 receptions coming into this game, and he's had some big catches along the way.
Here's Ertz out of bounds with a decent gain on 1st down. After that 17-yard completion, Ertz gets 4.
You know, a lot of people excited that they got Terry McLaurin back in the lineup, and then Deebo Samuel after last week missing that game with a heel injury. I had a chance to visit with Zach Ertz prior to the game, and I think he was probably the most excited, even more than Marcus Mariota, that, so much attention has been paid to him. There in the middle of the field with those injuries at wide receiver, he should get better looks going forward tonight.
2 backs in there for the Commanders. McNichols and Krosky Merritt. This rather is Chris Rodriguez who checks in, and Rodriguez gets 3. They've been rotating those backs in, and that was the first time we saw Rodriguez, who carries it for the 27th time this season and gets a few.
Well, you think back to last week for Kansas City against the Las Vegas Raiders. They held them to 90 yards of offense, just 3 first downs, pitched a shutout. They only played 30 defensive snaps. Washington tonight already has 5 first downs, so more than what Kansas City gave up all of last week.
Washington 3 for 3 on 3rd down. Mariota is down. Brought down by Karlaftis. And that'll bring up 4th down. And
we'll see if Dan Quinn, with a ball sitting near the 40, right at the 40, will go for it, and it looks like he will. Karlaftis, he gets the credit on that play. He gets through the rookie, Josh Connerly, but it was because there was no movement inside that allowed Karlaftis with the effort to bring him down.
He's good for it.
58-yard field goal try with their new kicker, Matthew Wright, and go for it on 4th and 6. That's caught, and right at the marker, that's Ertz, and it looked like he got it, at least with the official running in on the far side, as they will place it right at the line to gain, and we could have a measurement, and we will.
Officials timeout for a virtual measurement.
We're going to get the virtual measurement now, and that was a great throw by Marcus Mariota. It had to be right on him. I thought Kansas City played that exceptionally well. Good ball placement to at least give this a chance with the measurement. It is close. It's right up against it. And we will see the virtual measurement. Let's see about the spot. That's the part that's still imperfect. The knee goes down. It looks like he's right at the line to gain. Yeah, it is a good look at it. It looks, boy, from right there, it's hard. You can't see where the ball is. And we're still waiting on the technology of a virtual measurement to tell us if this is a first down, or if it's Kansas City's ball. That was a 4th down try. Here it is. Short, Kansas City ball.
Yes!
So Dan Quinn's Commanders have turned it over once with a deflected interception. And
It's at it again. You could lose the sports you love. Keep ESPN. Take action at KeepMyNetworks.com.
so the virtual measurement said that Ertz, on his 800th catch in his career, was short of the line to gain. That was the line judge who ran in and placed it down. Here is a screen set up for Rice, and boy, is that well played by Jeremy Reeves. He got through and made the stop, and Kansas City, a really good screening team. Andy Reid's always been good at that. That was well done by the Commanders. It was, and you're right, Joe, that Andy Reid and this offense, they're really good at the screen game, and they do it in a variety of ways. So as soon as Rashee Rice, he gets out there to that side, you know, they were anticipating the ball going to be thrown out quick to him. He's really good yards after catch, and they like to get him involved in those types of plays. Played beautifully by Washington. Mahomes has Rice wide open, and then he gets met. That's Reeves again, and that should do it for the first quarter here in Kansas City. As the two teams each have a turnover, and Washington has turned it over on downs. There is no score. Second quarter on a soggy, chilly
That's
night.
the other quarter one.
On the edge, we love playing like that, and so we're looking forward to just going after it and battling for it.
Your defense on the field right now to start this second quarter. What have you seen from them so far?
Just honestly, the takeaway, that was a big one for us. Knowing all the way down the field, they're going to take their shots. We've got to stay out of discipline. But like I said, this game's about living on the edge, being aggressive, being bold in all 3 phases, and that's what you have to do against a team like that.
Got the first down.
Troy Banks, Juju Smith-Schuster with a catch on 3rd down and 4. He is able to pick up a first down for Kansas City. And I would think the early returns, Laura asked Dan Quinn, he's got to be pleased with the way his defense is coming off the ball. They're moving guys around. They're using Frankie Louvu as a defensive end. They're getting some more speed at linebacker. We're going to see some different bodies out there for the Commanders in this game. Yeah, needed to clean up a lot of the mistakes that they've had. We saw one on the opening possession, but overall they've been good. Mahomes out to his left. Wagner shoves him. He was still in bounds.
Mahomes when Bobby Wagner, the 10-time Pro Bowl middle linebacker, shoved him out a gain of 7.
Yeah, it's the edge game that has really kind of hurt this Washington defense. When people have taken off and run, they just haven't been able to contain it. There's the push, and it was close, but I think it was a good no call. But Patrick Mahomes, I think it was Jacob Martin who was able to who went inside and allowed then Patrick Mahomes to get on the edge the way he did.
Quick throw. Kelsey gets ducked and a good tackle. There he is again. Jeremy Reaves has been everywhere.
Yeah, he's definitely shown up to play tonight, and you can only imagine what this week was like for all of them. You take a look at Jeremy Reaves. We saw it earlier. He blew up the play when they threw it to Rashee Rice on the screen and comes up. That's not an easy tackle to make against Travis Kelce.
Brings up 3rd down again. A loss of 1 on that play. 3rd and 4. Mahomes offense.
Oh, no.
And now each side with an interception that was deflected by a receiver. Debo on one side and now Travis Kelce on the other.
Yeah, that's the second interception that's been attributed to Patrick Mahomes, and it's come off the hands of Travis Kelce.
With an interception that was deflected. Mahomes offense hands of Kelce and picked by Wagner. And now each side with an interception that was deflected by a receiver. Debo on one side and now Travis Kelce on the other.
That's the second interception that's been attributed to Patrick Mahomes, and it's come off the hands of Travis Kelce this year.
Bobby Wagner, the 5-time All-Pro, has his first pick of the year as it lands in his left.
On the field for Cardinals Cowboys next Monday at 8 on ABC.
Bobby Wagner. Mariota keeps, fires, and the pass is caught by the tight end Bates. And John has just his 3rd catch of the year. What a game Cliff Kingsbury is calling here tonight. And just like that, a gain of 22 and right into Kansas City territory. Mariota keeps, gets around the edge and a nice gain on 1st down. Got a good block from Bates who made that last catch.
Well, go back and take a look at that interception by Bobby Wagner. A really good job by him. And one of the things that they're trying to clean up in their coverage is they want eyes on the quarterback. And Bobby, that time, he was able to drop into coverage and really did an excellent job. And now it's just a matter of whether or not Washington can take advantage of this outstanding field position that it afforded them.
First time that Patrick Mahomes in his career has been intercepted on each of the first 2 drives of the game, regular season or postseason. Low throw, good catch. Debo Samuel is wrapped up in a strong tackle by Jamari Connor. Here's the interception.
Now we're going to get to that interception. Here it is right here. You watch Bobby Wagner and what he's able to do here in coverage as Travis Kelce comes off the ball, and then he turns and he sees. So he's watching the receiver, and the ball comes up in the air, and he's there. And that's an area that this defense has really kind of struggled with. Some of those throws taking advantage of the middle of the field, but this defense has come up with some big plays already in this first half.
3rd down and 2. Quick throw. Pass is caught by Ertz. Can't break the tackle, and it's good by Hicks. It's 4th down again, and let's tell the story about the kicking game. Matt Gay popped up on the injury report on Saturday with a bad back. While you watch this replay of the strong tackle made by Hicks, the Commanders signed Matthew Wright to their practice squad today. He's a former Chief. He's bounced around the league, and they just activated him. So they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 1. extra man on the rush. Mariota floats it and incomplete for McLaurin. And again, the Commanders turn it over on downs. Still no score in Kansas. Chilly night in Kansas City. Glad you're with us on Monday night. 3 turnovers in this first half as the handoff is to Pacheco. And a gain on first down and 4. You know, I go back to that interview that we saw with Laura Rutledge and Dan Quinn, and he said, hey, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to live on the edge. And, you know, analytics said go for it. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I think if you look at it, clearly they're within the range of Matthew Wright, even though he just got brought up. But I think you look at it if you're Dan Quinn and you're saying we're going up against Patrick Mahomes, we're on the road, field goals are not going to cut it. You know, just was not good execution on what they were trying to accomplish within the play.
We're good. It might be 4 even.
Hand off to Pacheco. Wagner makes the stop. I think you can go back to the play calling, too. We just were raving about Cliff Kingsbury. They had the 8-yard run on first down after the completion to Bates. They had 2nd and 2. They threw 2 incompletions and then heaved it downfield on 4th down and 1, and Kansas City gets the ball for the second time on downs.
Yeah, I think that's the life as a play caller. As we take a look at Cliff Kingsbury, you know, when they don't work, you know, then you wish you called up something else, but they didn't even give themselves much of a chance.
3rd down and 2. Rashard Smith in motion. There's Kelsey. Makes good on this one. And a first down, Kansas City. That's his 2nd catch of the ball game. Number 3 all-time for catches among tight ends.
Well, when you allow Travis Kelsey, as accomplished as he is, to come off the line of scrimmage uncovered, you know where Patrick Mahomes is going to go with the football, and he'll wear them out if they continue to play it that way.
Mahomes keeps. Has all day, and he's got Kelsey.
Got the first down, Jeff.
Down inside the 25. Well, I talked about it, Joe. If you give Patrick Mahomes time in the pocket, he will carve you up. And if you play zone especially, and that's what Washington does on this play, you see nobody is in the face of Patrick Mahomes. And as Kelsey comes off the ball, you know, he's just running right through the secondary with no one really got eyes on him. And Patrick Mahomes finds him as he does so many times. I've never seen a quarterback see the field better than Patrick Mahomes. Here's Pacheco. Let's talk about that. When we talked to Andy Reid, you said that about his vision. And Andy said he's got fighter pilot vision. I've always said it. And then he said he has, meaning Mahomes, has the ability to dump the progression we always talk about and go to whatever he sees that's open. The special skill for Patrick is he seems to see the whole field.
Yeah, and he said it's a blessing and a curse because sometimes because he does see the whole field, it takes him away from his progression and kind of muddies the look.
Here's a pitch to Smith. And Rashard is brought down right at the marker. Tyler Owens, the safety, they're getting in there more because of his speed. And they're going to mark this one just short of first down yardage, so 3rd and inches.
Well, Rashard Smith, he's gotten more opportunities, and he's just another chess piece for Andy Reid and what he wants to do offensively. And he's got excellent speed, as so many of these guys offensively do. For the Chiefs, he was a wide receiver early in his career, moved to running back last year at SMU.
First down.
And 1st and goal from the 8.
This is an offense for Kansas City that has been outstanding down here in the red zone. Coming in, they were 9th in the NFL, but over the last 4 games, they've been converting just under 75% of their trips inside the red zone into touchdowns. So, you know, this is where the game so many times is won and lost.
Wildcat formation with Rice in the backfield, and he takes it right up the middle. Rice, touchdown.
Touchdown, yes. Receive White.
This ball is when that elbow hits the ground.
Looks to be short. And they will look at that.
Just short.
The call is touchdown. Looks like it should be second and goal from just outside.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are anticipating that as well. Everybody's just waiting for the officials to make an announcement.
Yeah, I agree, guys. It's definitely short. They're going to stop this and put it just short of the goal line.
It'll be second down and goal with under 6 to go in a fast-moving half, and still no score if they do overturn that call of touchdown. But that's one of those plays, and Mahomes told us that it's the players who bring a lot of the trick plays to Andy Reid, and when Reid gets that smirk on his face, he knows that Andy likes the play, and that was Wildcat, and a snap to Rice, and he just took it right up the gut.
After reviewing the play, he had expedited review. The runner is down short of the goal line.
I don't know about expedited, but we'll go with it. You know, last week, Joe, against the Las Vegas Raiders, they had Gardner Minshew. He went in, and he was in a shotgun at quarterback, only he was in a three-point stance. And then they had a false start, which just kind of blew the whole thing up on 3rd and 1. And then they ended up scoring a touchdown anyway, so it was a moot point. But they definitely keep things interesting, not only for themselves, but for these opponents that are having to face them.
They like Hunt. Kareem Hunt down close. They give it to him.
Another touchdown, Jeff.
So they had to reload the fireworks, but he's in, and instead of Rashee Rice on a touchdown carry, it's Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, nice job by Kansas City. They've had some things go against them with the 2 interceptions that Mahomes has had, and then they get an opportunity on the field, 4th down by Washington, and march it right down the field for the score.
Butker for the extra point. Sevens it. Kelsey had 2 catches, 42 yards on that drive. Rice got it. From our Skycam, it's brought to you by United Airlines. Chiefs about to kick it off to the Commanders, leading by 7. Harrison Butker will let it fly. Jalen Lane, the rookie, to the 35. Timeout for our total replay, brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Soup. Here's the interception by Dana off Debo. Then Lattimore returned the favor. 4th down and 6. He got 5.5. Hurts. And then this one off the hands of Travis Kelsey to Bobby Wagner. 4th down and 1, going for it again. Incomplete, and a moment to go. Kareem Hunt took it in from inches away for the first points of the night. Good play, Nick Bolton. And no gain as Krosky Merritt was introduced to the former Mizzou linebacker Nick Bolton.
Well, Ben Sinnott, he's going to come across, and it looked like he was supposed to be picking up Bolton, but Bolton, man, he just hits it downhill and makes a great play.
Mariota wide open on the far side is Sinnott. And the seldom used second-year tight end with a catch and run. Another big play for Washington. This time 22 yards.
Yeah, Sinnott misses the block on the previous play. This time he makes amends for it, gets the ball. They turn him loose out there in the flat. And then Deebo Samuel, once he realizes he's not getting the football, he wheels around and he's able to then make a block on Watson. Just really good execution by Washington.
Laremy Tunsil, the 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle, back out there for Washington. 4 possessions, all 4 times the Commanders have crossed midfield. Krosky Merritt cuts up field and gets a yard and a half. And that's big, getting Laremy Tunsil back at left tackle. Wasn't sure we were going to get a chance to see him return, but with him back in the lineup, you know, now he's a guy who's playing at a high level. They don't have to give him help. They never have to give him help over his career. He's done a heck of a job, and so then they can focus protection over to the right side with the rookie Josh Connerly. He kind of helped both positions by getting him back. Second down and 9, fake toss, watch out. Mariota broke one tackle, now another. And turned what could have been a sack into a positive play. George Karlaftis got through, had pressure, and it turns into a 3-yard gain by Mariota. That's such a great job by Mariota because as Karlaftis is, he comes up the field. We saw him already make a play just like that. He just continues to kind of work the pocket and make something out of nothing. On the outer edge of field goal range, it's 3rd down and 5. Dan Quinn has passed on a couple of field goals already. Mariota drops it off. McNichols has got first down and then some. Out of bounds, maybe just inside the 20. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark him just outside the 20, and that was a little lob pass from Marcus. It was. Kansas City likes to play man coverage, and they're really good at it with their secondary. It looked like Nick Bolton. He thinks that McNichols is going to stay in and protect and kind of turns him loose. And Mariota, being able to keep the play alive, is able to get the ball to him because there was nowhere else to go with the football. Just lockdown coverage everywhere else on the field. And just like everybody expected, Jeremy McNichols is the game's leading receiver. That was a season-long 18 yards, and now on first down. Mariota keeps looking for blocks. Jumps in the air for some reason, and Trent McDuffie says thanks and knocks him down.
I think for some reason he'll have to answer that one, but I tell you, they got to be holding their breath every time Mariota takes off running because, you know, I don't know what they got once. If they were to lose him, they got Josh Johnson, but
we reached the 2-minute
Line up behind Cisco, the critical infrastructure for the AI era.
Coming up on the Allstate halftime, Boomers fastest 3 minutes. Special announcement about an upcoming Monday Night Football game coming up at the half. 2 minutes left, 2nd down and 10 for the Commanders, down by 7. Chris Jones has been held in check so far. They throw to McNichols, and he's got about 10. Let's see where they put it down. They're going to mark him just short, less than a yard. But here we are again, a 3rd down and inches for the Commanders. They've been knocking on the door all night. They've been able to cross midfield every possession. They've turned it over twice on downs. Well, Cliff Kingsbury, he's got 2 downs to pick this up. I don't know if they're going to look at the spots.
They're going to review it.
Couldn't hear Brad Allen. I think they're looking at the spot of where McNichols came down. Right now they marked him short. And it looks like he's got it, to me.
Well, it sure does from that angle. Take a look here. Get a little better look at it.
Knees are up.
It looks like the shin is the first part down, and it looks like the ball just makes the line to gain. I'll expect them to reverse this and make the first down.
After reviewing the play, the runner made the line to gain. It's first down.
So a fresh set of downs with the ball sitting just outside the 10. And we'll see if the Commanders can finally break the seal and get into the end zone.
Yeah, great job there by the officials, taking another look at it and seeing that he did make the line to gain and a new set of downs for Washington. That changes what Cliff Kingsbury had called. And see what he wants to dial up here on first down. This has been an offense that when they've gotten down here in the red zone this year, they've been really good. There's been a lot of inconsistencies overall, as Commanders fans know. But the red zone, they've been productive overall, coming away with touchdowns.
Timeout now is taken by Kansas City, as they want to preserve as much time as they can. They're down to 1.
Following the review, the game clock is reset to 1:54. 1:54 on the game clock, please. Because we would run 10 seconds, Kansas City has opted to take a timeout to avoid the runoff.
Second timeout called by
Kansas
Andy
City.
Reid.
Second timeout for Andy Reid. 1:54 remains in the half. First and 10 for Washington, down 7.
If Nationwide could be a great insurance and financial.
Tackle Laramie Tunsil missed 15 snaps. Brandon Coleman did a nice job at left tackle while he got the shot out there. Chiefs defense has been a different story tonight compared to last week against the Raiders. Barely had to play tonight. They got their hands full. First down. Mariota looking for blocking. Well played. Karlaftis. Chanel as well. Second and 10.
Gosh, that's such a great play by George Karlaftis. He's been all over the place here in this first half. He's going to read it like he's going to string this out, and then he slides up and makes a heck of a play. And he gets up the field and then out on the edge as well. It's just Leo Chanel. Between the two of them, just great work.
McLaurin has not been targeted. Second and 10. Mariota chased, stays upright. End zone for Samuel. Incomplete, out of bounds. Third down and 10.
Well, it was a nice try by Mariota just to escape it. I thought there was a little contact at the top of it, but I don't think there was after looking at the replay. He had an opportunity. I mean, good ball placement by Mariota under duress.
Might have gotten the feet down, but then lost the ball, it looked like, going to the ground. Yeah, right there. Yeah. And incomplete, so third down and 10.
Just not able to control it going to the ground.
Play clock at 2. Mariota just lobs it up for McLaurin. Did he get it down? Incomplete, out of bounds.
I don't know. It's a question of whether or not the right toe. The left foot's down. He's got it. That looks like a touchdown.
Troy, I agree with you. It looks like he has control with both feet down. I think it's a catch.
Wow.
The ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
So while the Commanders were lining up for a field goal try, what a play by McLaurin. It looks to us like both feet are down. He secured the catch going to the ground. We'll get the call from Brad Allen when we come back. On all levels by the Commanders, Mariota, the blocking, and McLaurin, his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, a lot of guys really had to come up big on that play in order to come up with a touchdown. Beginning, as you mentioned, Joe, with Jeremy McNichols, who helped secure the edge to provide a little bit of time for Mariota to find McLaurin.
Extra point is inside the right upright and retired by Matthew Wright, who was with his 10th team in the NFL. 7-7 under a minute to go.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the experience of this trainer,
Good to go.
but getting that trainer.
Megan Trainer. I'm all about that brace, no trouble. Give me your arm.
No, it's not for that.
Who are you?
Patrick, I play football.
This is Patrick, everyone. Give it up for Patrick. He does sports.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
Why is no one clapping?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Kansas City has one timeout. Terry McLaurin, who's welcomed back after missing the last 4 games, gets his first touchdown of the year. Well, Jeremy McNichols does a great job, but right here, Zach Ertz, he secures the edge on Chris Jones, and then you've got Terry McLaurin, who's going to come all the way across the field here. So Jeremy McNichols helps secure the edge, blocking Karlaftis, and then to make this throw and putting it where he did, and then knowing where he is on the boundary in order to keep his feet in bounds. There was just a lot of things that had to happen perfectly, and Washington desperately needed that from all of them. Jade Daniels loving it. Commanders went 1-1 in the 2 games he missed. They beat the Raiders. They lost at Atlanta. And here's a kick that lands in the landing zone, and Remigio on the return, flag flies. 53 seconds on the clock and 1 timeout for Kansas City. And this call is against the Chiefs. And this is the first penalty flag of the game.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 43. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
It's Jack Cochran who was guilty of the hold. That's going to push Kansas City back. And here is the hold. Yep. We got a hold of the laundry there. See what Patrick Mahomes is able to do. They got 1 timeout, 50 seconds to go. He certainly doesn't need much time. We've seen that over the years. And think about the other side, too. Depending on what happens, the first play, second play, Washington's got all 3 timeouts of theirs. Mahomes going to go.
Got the first down, yes.
At the 30, Martin couldn't get to him. And it's a 15-yard carry by Mahomes. Well, they've had Frankie Luvu in there as a spy, and they did on that last play. He kind of bit on the play fake by Mahomes and opened up the running lane. Mahomes
got the first down, yes.
That's not an easy catch to make for a big guy like him down low.
It'll take a timeout.
An excellent job. Kansas City takes their final timeout.
And Andy Reid will take his final timeout.
Kelsey inbounds. You can see Frankie Luvu, number 4, right there. He has been playing a spy on Patrick Mahomes. He's there, but when Mahomes starts like he's going to throw to the left, it took him that way, and then it just opened everything up for that big scramble. And then here's that last play to catch by Kelsey. Quan Martin at least able to bring him down to keep him in bounds and force Kansas City to use their final timeout. It's a first down just shy of the 40. Career long for Harrison Butker, 62 yards. That means getting it about another 15 or so yards from here to have a shot at something like that. They obviously want more. Confusion over on Washington's sidelines. They looked like they were trying to substitute Ryan and Eddie Goldman. First down throw. Mahomes got pumped. And this is out of bounds. And Mahomes ends up on his back as Javon Kinlaw got in there. Well, you mentioned it, Trey Smith, who's not playing tonight, so Mike Caliendo gets the start at right guard, and Kinlaw just works right past him and has a straight shot. They're trying to take the deep shot. You see Kinlaw come in. He's been a great addition to this defense. Only the second missed game for Trey Smith in his 5-year career. And now 18 seconds remain. It's second down. Mahomes fires it. This one's broken up. Worthy the target. And Amos, the rookie corner, made the stop. Really a nice job by Trey Amos because it looked like Worthy, it looked like it was going to be a pretty easy completion when he comes out of this break. He's at the top of the screen, and he's running this dig route. and he's got some separation. The ball leads him up the field just a little bit. Was there contact on the back end? It was close.
Yeah, Troy, I'm good with that. It's virtual simultaneous when you look at it, even in slow motion in real time. That's not a foul.
And it brings up 3rd down and 10. No timeouts. Tie game. Von Miller coming off the edge. Mahomes is ready to air it out. Now left-handed just throws it into the ground. That did not get across the line of scrimmage. He was outside the pocket, and Frankie Luvu was draped all over him.
Yeah, this is a nice job defensively by Washington. They gave up the scramble, they gave up the catch to Kelsey, but for Kansas City not to get really anything more out of this, the officials are together looking to see if this is going to be intentional grounding, and it is. They threw the flag.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Number 15, the ball did not make it back to the line of scrimmage with no eligible receiver in the area. By rule, this foul carries a 10-second runoff. The half is over.
Well, there you go. On this penalty for intentional grounding, we are at halftime. In a 7-7 game, as the Commanders, losers of 2 in a row, have come in ready to play here tonight.
And some missed opportunities. I think you could say the same thing for Kansas City, but Washington has to feel good about it.
Let's go down to Lisa Salters with Andy Reid.
Andy, you get the football to start the second half. What do you want to see from your offense?
So we just needed more consistency. We need to keep the run game going, and we'll be fine.
And we reach halftime.
Did he get it down? That looks like a touchdown.
And it was a touchdown. Get everything you need to win game day at Target. It is a 7-7 game at the half. Local sculptor Rudy Garcia carving our halftime score. Try to distract somebody on my way out of here to take at least one of those back home. As Kansas City starts the second half of the ball, Remigio on the return, breaking tackles and wrestled to the ground. Flag flies at the end of that return.
Flag is down.
Here's Brad Allen.
During the return, holding, return team number 31. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
All right, so we'll welcome you back to the booth, Joe Buck, along with Troy Aikman. And Kansas City has the ball first, so we'll just focus on that and what you expect to see Kansas City doing here to start the second half.
Well, I think they've got to try to get that running game going a little bit better than what they did in that first half. But I think looking at the first half, Joe, if you're Washington, you got to feel pretty good about it. This is a defense that was struggling coming into this game against a red-hot offense. And the more this game goes along, the more confidence this defense is going to gain. And right now, I think it's playing the way Washington would hope. The last thing they wanted to see this become was a shootout. And so the defense has done their part, especially right there at the end of that first half with 50 seconds and not to yield any points, with Kansas City getting the ball here in the start third quarter.
Rice, who was in motion, gets the pass and is tackled with a 5-yard gain at the 25. Take a look at the first half for Patrick Mahomes. He threw interceptions on each of the first 2 possessions. He was bothered by the defense for the Commanders. That was 1. Here is number 2. He had pressure in his face quite a bit from his defense that was energized and challenged by head coach Dan Quinn this week.
And with the backdrop of having lost their best pass rusher, Dorrance Armstrong, last week. And so, the game defensively for Washington has been about as good as they could have hoped for.
2nd and 5. That one's tipped and nearly still caught, and then a hit, which will draw the flag. Noah Gray
flag gets down
after that ball was tipped.
And instead of 3rd and long, this is going to be a first down by penalty. Bobby Wagner, he's the one who gets his hands on this ball. And Noah Gray with great concentration trying to make a play on it. But you see as he's defenseless and comes right into the helmet.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness. A hit on a defenseless player.
Yes.
Number 20, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Against Quan Martin, the Commanders were trying to argue that the ball was tipped, which would nullify pass interference, but not a hit like this. Yeah, after the ball's hit the ground and could have pulled up. That's tough. It's tough on these defenders, but that's in the category of player safety.
Oh, there, my God!
Mahomes, Gray, who just survived that hit. Bobby Wagner with the tackle. And a nice gain of 8 on that first down play. So the 2 early picks. Numbers overall for Mahomes. He has been held under 100 yards in the ball game. It's 9 of 16. He just hasn't really been able to find a groove. He had the one interception, of course, that came off Kelsey's hands, and really a good play by Lattimore. On that
the first down.
Pacheco gets the first down, and he's lifted up by Sainrisville. A gain of 5. Well, Joe, you talked about it earlier in the game about this week. They had an extra week to prepare coming off that really defeating game to the Dallas Cowboys, their worst of the season, having lost now the last 2 games, 3 of their last 4. And it was all hands on deck this week. They evaluated what they were doing, and we've heard Dan Quinn talk about it and the aggressiveness that he wanted to see. They simplified things, and it's yielded positive results up to this point. Mahomes has all day. Kelsey leaks out. He's got
the first down.
Seymour still brings him down to save the touchdown. And it's 1st and goal after a 38-yard completion. Well, it's great coverage everywhere, and it's why the ball doesn't come out of Mahomes' hands. They've got the deep ball covered. And then Kelsey, who was in helping protect, he just realizes that his quarterback's in trouble. But this is the eyes and the awareness of Patrick Mahomes. Just knows where all his eligibles are at all times. And you really can't give any quarterback in this league that kind of time, but especially someone of the caliber of Patrick Mahomes. 1st and goal from the 9. Pacheco with his feet flying. Brought down by Devon Payne, a gain of 1. Well, you just simply cannot take a play off, at any point. That 38-yard catch and run. Longest play of the game. Kelsey with 79 career touchdown receptions, most by a Chief all time. Overall, he's got 82 touchdowns. He's 1 off the franchise record set by Chris Holmes. Mahomes, Rice, reaching, and out of bounds.
The first down.
Before getting in, they're going to mark it back. Looks like close to the 3. It's a 5-yard gain. Amos with a tackle, and I guess they're saying his knee was down prior to this reach. He didn't get in, but that was one heck of an effort, though. They got the ball back just inside the 3.
Yeah, Joe, I don't see the knee down, but his foot does touch out of bounds with the ball at about the 1. I would prefer that as a better spot.
Well, 3rd down and goal. From outside the 2, Mahomes. Flags on the play. Pass incomplete. Looks like 2 different fouls potentially on this play, which would force a redo. There are multiple flags down.
There are fouls by both teams. Holding, offense number 74. Holding, defense number 39. The penalty is offset. It's third down.
Juwan Taylor for Kansas City and Reeves for Washington, and now it'll bring up 3rd and goal again. We'll see Jeremy Reeves as he leaves the field. See Jeremy Reeves. Different fouls potentially on this play, which would force a redo. There are multiple flags down.
There are fouls by both teams. Holding, offense number 74. Holding, defense number 39. The penalty's offset. It's third down.
Juwan Taylor for Kansas City and Reeves for Washington, and now it'll bring up 3rd and goal again. We'll see Jeremy Reeves as he leaves the field. Swoops it, not there for Gray. A lot of contact, but no flags. With Saber still in coverage, it's 4th down. That's a good job by this defense. They go Noah Gray on the one side. Just a lot of shifts, a lot of motions by Kansas City. That forces this defense then to communicate everything that's going on. Not easy. It's taxing on them. And this is what you hear the reaction from the crowd just at the top of that. Got his arms around him.
Yeah, Troy on that one, 83 is blocking. By the time he turns it on and he's being held, it's too late.
So it's 4th down and goal. Mahomes out to his right.
Touchdown, Josh. The Beef Hunt's got a 2nd touchdown.
The aggressive Andy Reid has been going for it much more on 4th down. They convert on 4th and goal. And you see Bobby Wagner's locked up in man coverage, and he plays this. Kelsey comes over, he runs a little pick, but Wagner goes over the top. Looked like he was in a good position, but he expected them to pass it off, and nobody continued with Hunt. And as he always does, Mahomes finds him. 7-point lead for Kansas City as they take the opening kickoff of the 2nd half and march it down the field. Mahomes. Eighth career game with a touchdown run and catch. The Chiefs have done good work coming out of the locker room after halftime. 6th game with a touchdown on that first possession after the half. As the Chiefs play their 8th game of the year, and now we'll kick it back to the Commanders. Yeah, on a couple of broken plays. The big play to Travis Kelsey when it looked like he initially was blocking. They couldn't get to Mahomes, and then, of course, on the touchdown to Kareem Hunt. Watch out here. That is Lane. It goes out of bounds, and that's going to put the Commanders back inside their 5 near their 1. The rookie, Jalen Lane, couldn't make the catch. And then it took a right turn, the ball did, and ends up out of bounds at about the 1.5. Yeah, that's a tough break for the rookie, Jalen Lane. You know, once he was not able to secure the catch, just an unfortunate bounce there with the ball. But he's got this offense now backed up. Kind of that knuckleball kickoff by Butker. And it gets even harder for the Commanders down 7. Brandon Coleman in the game at left tackle. Laramie Tunsil is out with a hamstring injury. Looking for a little bit of breathing room. Krosky Merritt, the rookie, gets 2. Let's go to Laura.
Yeah, Joe, Tunsil was going to try to come back out in the second half and go, and that hamstring just got too tight on him. But he has been encouraging Coleman throughout this game, praising his play when he's been out there. As Troy said before, Coleman with a decent amount of experience at left tackle.
Yellow run for Tunsil. He had missed a snap prior to tonight. Second and 8. Mariota from his end zone over the middle. He's got McLaurin. Well, I'll say this, Marcus Mariota making his third start. I don't know that he can play any better than he is right now.
No, I thought he's played well when he's had his opportunities this year in his 2 starts. We've seen Trent McDuffie. He's been traveling to Terry McLaurin's side. It doesn't always mean that they're in man coverage. He turns him loose here, passes him off to the safety Cook. But he is traveling to his side whenever he breaks the huddle. It's starting to get Terry McLaurin a little bit more involved.
That's his third target, second catch. First down at the 22. Lane handoff, Krosky Merritt spins out across the 25. McLaurin has got 5 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He had 13 touchdowns a year ago. Second in the league. He signed that extension, missed the bulk of camp right before the start of the regular season. He's missed the last 4 games. Out to his right. Mariota floating it for Samuel. It's not there. Third down coming up.
Well, Joe, we had Washington back in the preseason when McLaurin was holding out. And as we talked about then, it just didn't feel that Washington could do what they did last year without their number 1 wide receiver. They got him signed. They realized that as well. Adam Peters, the general manager, Dan Quinn. And then, of course, he's missed all that time with the injury, and it's been a struggle. But tonight's been a good matchup with, as I mentioned, with Trent McDuffie going his way, got McLaurin off the field now. But those are 2 competitive guys going at it.
They clock at 2. Mariota has to pull it down, and now fires. It's off the hands of Lane.
Did not get the first down.
As he was going to the ground, and Brian Cook had a shot at it, couldn't get the pick on the deflection. It's 4th down.
Wow, that was an excellent job by Kansas City defensively. They locked up in man coverage, and this was just kind of Jalen Lane trying to give him somewhere to go with the football. Would have been tough. He's stumbling as he's going to the ground, trying to make a play on the ball. Fortunate that Cook didn't intercept it, but that would have sure made up for the field position that he put his offense in to start this drive.
First punt, either team. Way hits a beauty. Mayhew backpedaling near the 15. Bates got down there to make the stop. And then Mayhew fought his way out of bounds near the 25 and 11-yard return. To a 58-yard punt right back on offense. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and company of 7.
.com.
A look from our Skycam brought to you by United Airlines on a cool evening in Kansas City, Missouri. Halloween right around the corner. Chiefs ball leading by 7. 8 minutes left, third quarter, second possession, second half. They had it Pacheco, and he gets the edge. And gets 11.
Got the first down. Yeah.
It's the Mendelisa.
Yeah, Joe, remember that Patrick Mahomes told us that with all the weapons they have, he thinks this group has the chance to be one of the best offenses he's ever had. And I asked him about how to keep everyone happy with just one football. And Travis Kelce said it really hasn't been a problem because everyone likes each other. They all want each other to succeed. So he said it's fun to be a part when everyone gets the taste. Remember Patrick said everyone eats, whether it's a first down here or a big play there. He said it's just about getting excited for your teammate. And they're all just kind of doing that naturally.
Yeah, Lisa, there's certainly more to talk about with that. Pacheco lined up wide to the left of Mahomes. Mahomes looked that way, now back over the middle where they find
Got the first down, yeah.
And Juju to the 41.
You've heard me say it, Joe. I just don't think you can beat Patrick Mahomes playing zone coverage if you're not getting to him. And when he starts to move up in the pocket, he's always looking down the field as to where his open guy is. And Juju Smith-Schuster, I really like this guy and what he's added to this offense. And he was the one, when you get Xavier Worthy back and then Rashee Rice, that his snaps were going to go down. But he's a valuable guy in all the things that he does. Does a lot of the dirty work in the run game, too.
Kareem Hunt, who's got 2 touchdowns in this game, gets a yard.
You know, we hear Lisa Salters talk about as far as getting the ball spread around. Here's a look at the targets tonight. Travis Kelce, of course, with 7 targets. He's got 5 receptions. He's nearing the 100-yard mark. He's got 89 yards receiving tonight. Surprisingly, no receiver has 100 yards receiving yet this season, which speaks to what Lisa was talking about, spreading it around. Hollywood Brown, he had 99 yards week 1, but no one else has gotten close until tonight with Travis Kelce.
In fact, 6 different receivers have 5 different ball carriers.
Oh, no.
And then getting right back on top of it as
He's got the ball.
is Rice.
Really on the field is a catch, fumble with recovery by the offense. It's first down.
Now, Marshawn Lattimore, you're going to see he comes into the picture, number 2. He could have fell on it right there. He's trying to pick it up rather than just go down on it. And a missed opportunity for Washington to get the ball back.
It's pretty incredible. That is the 8th fumble of the year for the Chiefs. They have not lost any of them.
Just good bounces. You know, you can't coach that up.
Mahomes, quick throw, Worthy, good tackle out on the edge. It's Quan Martin.
Clearly, they're in field goal range, and this, you know, down 7, the way that Kansas City was able to open up the third quarter, go right down the field, come away with a touchdown. This is a big possession defensively for Washington. You know, for all the confidence they gained there in that first half, they risk kind of giving it all right back if they're not able to make a big stop here and at least hold them to 3 points.
Mahomes 7 for 8 this half.
Yeah, you hear the same cover 0, no safety in the middle of the field. Nobody back here.
2nd and 8. Rice, full head of steam.
On the first down, yeah.
Good job by Patrick Mahomes. He checks the play, and Washington, hearing him call out the blitz, they checked out of it themselves, and he comes right underneath to Rashee Rice and lets him get what he can.
2nd game back off the 6-game suspension for Rice. Here's Worthy. The throw led Worthy up the field and on 1st down at gain of 4.
You know, I go back to what Lisa Salters talked about, and it is a different feel to this team. You know, I mentioned it coming into the game. Last year, it just felt like they never quite got their confidence and their groove offensively. And this year, they kind of know what they are, and they can play any type of game that you want them to play. If you want to play the big ball, they can do that with the deep shots, and they play the ball possession with these receivers.
2nd and 6. Mahomes, end zone.
Touchdown, yeah.
Touchdown.
Take a look at that, Joe. It looked like he might have bobbled it and then got tackled once he came back into the field of play. It's a great job by him creating separation and making a play on the ball. Well, he had it. I thought he bobbled it right there, but he's got firm possession of the football.
That ties Priest Holmes for the #1 spot on the all-time list for touchdowns with the Chiefs. Number 83. It's touchdown catch number between Mahomes and Kelce. Mahomes' second half where he has been red hot. Let's send it down to Lisa.
Well, Joe, Travis Kelce said once he passed Tony Gonzalez, he thought Priest Holmes would be out of reach for him, and now here he is, which to him, he said it's just silly to even think about. When he first got to Kansas City, he started diving into Chiefs film,
because he wanted to see what Tony Gonzalez did on a day-to-day basis to be so legendary. And he said when he watched the film, he was just in awe of not just Gonzalez, but how great Priest Holmes was as well. He said both those guys were just so exciting, and to be in the same conversation with them now, he said it's an honor, a pretty cool feeling for him.
Yeah, Lisa, he ties in with his 83rd. A long way to go in this season. Here is Lane as they try to get the rookie back involved again. No gain on the play. Patrick Mahomes knew that ball was important. He's the one to go down and get that football for touchdown number 83 for Travis Kelce. And that ball will be tucked away and on a mantle somewhere between multiple homes that the Kelce family.
Yeah, I've admired Travis Kelce throughout his career, and I've especially respected the respect that he's given to Tony Gonzalez over the years.
All right, see if the Commanders can answer. That's McNichols, and that is a strong tackle by Brian Cook.
The secondary for Kansas City, they are really talented, and we haven't talked about Nolan Williams, their rookie third-round draft pick out of Cal, and the job that he's done. But Brian Cook, he's a really talented safety in his fourth year. And so many of these guys with a minimum of 3 years in this defensive system by Steve Spagnuolo. But you give them a 2-touchdown lead like they have right now, and they can feel it. And it opens up their defensive playbook. Well, that guy there's Spagnuolo.
They're down at 8. Blitz was coming, and this one is caught by McLaurin, and it's a catch. Let's take a look at the end of this.
Yeah, that's that matchup we were talking about. Now they're going to roll it into incomplete.
Great rolling on the field. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, this is interesting with the right leg coming down inbounds.
You got the knee down.
Troy, I like that as a catch. I have control. He survives the ground after having a body part inbounds. He doesn't lose it too much later. To me, that's a catch.
I do too. It looks to me like a catch, and just really a great play. And that's excellent coverage by Trent McDuffie.
I mean, he's inbounds, but there's no challenge yet. And now they have. It looked like the right knee was down, the right elbow was down before the left knee touched out of bounds.
Yeah, no, I thought it was an excellent catch in real time, and I mean, you see the coverage. Trent McDuffie's stretched all
Washington is
over.
challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. We'll review the play.
That's really good play by both those guys there.
Think of the 2 catches he's made.
Yeah.
The one for the touchdown, somehow keeping his feet in bounds. And then that one that, at least for the 3 of us in the booth,
head coaches get
members of our
challenged.
crew think that Marcus is going to have to take that hat off and go back to the field.
Yeah,
You know, it was interesting. I heard, Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico last night in that broadcast, Russell, they were talking about expedited
After reviewing the
review.
play, it is a completed catch. It's first down, Washington at the 37-yard line.
Incredible catch by McLaurin.
Yeah, when is it an expedited review, and when does it force a challenge by the coaches? I think it's a fair point to make, but this is one heck of a play.
Yeah. In this situation, if it's clear and obvious on the line feed, they can assist to create the catch. They obviously didn't felt the jump out. It was clear. And so they went to a review. They just did an expedited review.
Jaden Daniels knew he could have expedited it.
Does anybody have more fun than Jake?
No. He's got a bad hamstring, and he's got a ball over on the sideline. What a good throw. What a catch.
Smile, too.
25-yard completion on that one. Here's Debo trying to cut outfield, and Drew Tranquil made that play.
Wow. That was a collision, and you got Nick Bolton, who's down. He getting up? Yeah, he's getting up. He took a pretty good hit at the end of that play. Debo Samuel, you can tell he's in a lot of pain right now. We'll take a better look at it, but you got Drew Tranquil, and then number 32, Nick Bolton at the end of this. He was slow to get up.
He stays in there on 2nd and 9.
He's still hurting right now.
Mariota, McCaffrey, great defense.
Jackson, he almost intercepted that ball. He ran it so quickly. He had interception on his mind, and he had a good chance. You're going to see him as he shoots up the field. He reads it immediately, and the ball was a little up the field. He had a chance, and he knows it.
A loss of 2 on the play. If Luke McCaffrey doesn't come back to the ball, that was big. That brings up 3rd and 11.
A one-on-one. He's got a pick in this game, and now
Delta gets the in a quarter of a 3.
Took the Commanders out of field goal range with a loss of 9, and Wade just got it away with Remigio, a fair catch back near the 5. They are, as they always are, having fun.
that he's got to take Chamari Connor if he blitzes, but he doesn't. He pulls out in plenty of time, and it's just miscommunication, whether it was Sam Cosmi or the rookie Josh Connerly at right tackle, but they turned Dana totally loose for that sack. Big play.
Cosmi's only his 2nd game back. He's playing with that rookie right tackle. He's been fighting his way back from a torn ACL. So they haven't played together much, and it showed right there as Worthy makes the catch on his hip. Breaks the tackle of Sanders still and gets about 9.5. Look at Patrick Mahomes tonight when we're talking about the word vision.
Yeah, some of the things we talked about coming into this game, and provided time in the pocket, you can just tell he sees it all. And he knows exactly where his outlets are, where he needs to go with the football, and when he moves up in the pocket, his eyes are always down the field looking for the open guy. And here's the touchdown, and that was a great catch by Travis Kelce. I thought that he had bobbled it, but didn't even come close. And that ball didn't move, just strong hands at the point of the catch.
Here's Hunt with a first down right up the middle. Think about this game. It was tied 7-7 early 3rd quarter. Kansas City took the ball down the field, went for it on 4th down and goal, and got the touchdown. They've added another since. And Kareem Hunt has been front and center with 2 of the 3 scores they've had tonight.
Yeah, just some good, tough running. A couple of weeks ago, you looked at what they were doing, and Kareem Hunt actually had more carries. And when we talked to Andy Reid in that game before Jacksonville, said we got to get Pacheco more opportunities. He's gotten those, but Kareem Hunt has run awfully hard.
Here's Brashard. And all the momentum, the flag is down, is with the home team right now.
Oh, it's a flag in the play.
Holding. Offense.
Oh, no.
First down.
Rasheed Rice got
Rasheed Rice was out there blocking and was guilty of a hold on that toss to Brashard Smith.
Yeah, here's another look at it. Against Jordan McGee, who's gotten more snaps for the Washington Commanders. That's a good call.
Makes it 1st and 16. It's hooked up and brought down. That was Martin. That's his 2nd of the night.
Jacob Martin, I mentioned him earlier when he came up with the sack and what he's been able to do. Here he is, number 55, and he just is relentless. And without him, they really have not had a whole lot of pressure. They mentioned Dorrance Armstrong not being in the lineup, and Martin has been the one guy that's been able to apply a little bit of pressure. We haven't even talked about Von Miller tonight. Boy, they need somebody else to help step up.
They lost Dorrance Armstrong last week, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, and Dietrich Wise earlier in the year. 3 of their top 4 defensive ends. Mahomes out to his left.
Got the first down, yes.
First down.
Frankie Luvu, he's out there. He's trying to help cover Rice, but because there was nobody in run support on the edge, with Mahomes. He then has to come off of it. A late flag just came in at the end of this play.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, offense, number 4, 15-yard penalty.
And Rice will be
unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting.
Shaken ahead by Andy Reid, and that's going to march Kansas City back after that 25-yard completion. I'd like to hear the argument that Rashee Rice was making. He was stating his case as if he hadn't done anything, but they're gonna call that. Now, they got the hold on Rashee Rice a few plays ago, backed him up, and yet Mahomes and company were able to still convert that. But they backed him up a little bit. It's a matter of whether or not Washington can come up with a stop. Saw Rice go out and not come back in, and Patrick Mahomes went right up to him in the huddle.
Oh, no, that's hot! We're good. Let's go,
First and 10 at the 29 after that penalty. Pacheco across the 40 with another first down. It was an unsportsmanlike call on Rashee Rice, and then he came over to Andy Reid, pleading his case about throwing the ball that he
said all I did was just toss it at the guy's helmet. I think it looked like he actually was maybe trying to toss it to the official. And as a receiver, there's a reason he plays receiver and not quarterback.
Quan Martin right in the helmet. Here's a handoff now to Pacheco. Rashee Rice was injured last year in week 4. That cost him the rest of the season with a knee injury. Then in July was sentenced to 30 days in jail, 5 years probation for his role in a multi-car crash in Dallas. He pleaded guilty in district court to 2 third-degree felony charges. The league suspended him for the first 6 games of the season. He was able to practice with the team all of camp. He was back in the building after 3 weeks of the suspension but couldn't practice. He was in meetings and then got to ramp up by the last week as Mahomes fights Gray.
Got another first down,
On that little throw moving to his left.
Oh my God.
And now another injury on defense for the Commanders. That's Javon Kinlaw. A 15-yard completion, first down as they check on Kinlaw. And then Patrick Mahomes. 10 straight completions by the Kansas City quarterback as Hunt runs into Bobby Wagner with a gain of 7.
Well, they've got this running game going, Joe. You asked me what they needed to do here in this second half, and get the running game going, and they've done that. They're averaging close to 6 yards a carry here in this ball game, and the offensive line has done an excellent job. And now with Javon Kinlaw out of the game, it just gives them more opportunities inside. That's a big loss. Another big loss for this Washington team.
Wanye Morris, an extra offensive lineman, is in there. Mahomes for Gray, too far.
Well, you see Mahomes, he realizes that Noah Gray, the miscommunication, Patrick saw what I saw. But Noah Gray, he's running more of an out route, but he gets up on the defender, and Mahomes wanted him just to take it to the end zone. As he releases, now he's on Bobby Wagner. Just keep it straight, and he's got a touchdown. But that wasn't what the route called for because of what was called in the huddle. And not everyone's as instinctive as Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey. Yeah, and Kelsey, that's a good point. Those two always seem to be on the same page.
Third down and 3. Low snap. Rice.
Got the first down, yes.
Got a good block from Noah Gray. Next
Next week, we are in Arlington, Texas for the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals at 8 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. Peyton and Eli will be on ESPN2. Cardinals coming off their bye week, and the Cowboys got worked yesterday in Denver.
Yeah, they sure did. They're licking their wounds, and the Cardinals haven't had the year that they're hoping for. There's a look at what Dak Prescott has done this season. Nice win for Denver last night.
What the hell is going on?
It'll help the Cardinals. Pacheco gets 2. Denver Broncos, by the way, put up 77 points over their last 5 quarters. And when you look at that team, the offense feels like it's rounding into shape. But then you look at the defense and the number of good players that they have. That Kansas City's going to be fighting them all year in the AFC West. As you look at ball control in this second half, dominated by Kansas City.
Yeah, that AFC West, that's a fun division between those 3 teams with the LA Chargers as well, and how that's going to shape up. But Kansas City continuing to hit their stride, no doubt.
And Rice makes the
Idiot, wants a touchdown and the game is over. Yeah.
See the double move that Rashee Rice makes on Bobby Wagner. He's going to come across and act like he's hooking up, and Wagner jumps it, and then it's just a foot race, and it's one that Wagner's not going to make at his age.
A drive that started at the 6. Chiefs this half, 3 possessions, 3 Mahomes touchdown passes to 3 different receivers, and Rashee Rice in his second game back has got 3 touchdowns already. They are rolling, they are smiling, they are having fun. They are still the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're home for the holidays. You've dreamt of this moment, back in your old room.
Hey, kiddo, I'll be right there.
At least you can get a deal on new shorts for Dad. Something with a little more.
All some reruns.
Makes sense to me.
That's good.
What is the answer? Cook. Food. We can't cook. Oh, okay, cook. Well, we just need one answer. Oh, my God. I really don't got to pick what you said out of the damn paragraph. That's good. Food. Rainy, like a rainy day?
Yes.
Fill in the blank. If a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
I need my parents to close cover your ears, but if a man can't make love, I will leave him.
Oh, yeah. Raven, if a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
So she took mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna say if a man can't make my car go, I'm gonna jump him. If he can't make my car run right, I'm gonna jump him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man can't make my car go. He can't
Make my car run. If he can't
make my car run.
Yeah.
Next, can't make the car run. James, sir, if a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
I'm going to say time.
Oh, if a man can't make time, I'll dump him. We only got 1 strike. Hey, it's your turn again. If a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
Like maintenance, if he can't take care of the house, I'm gonna dump him. Like he can fix a light bulb. Like if he can't make things with his hand, things work.
Fix stuff in the house. Y'all, you got 2 strikes. You got to be careful those family can steal. If a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
Make you laugh.
If a man can't make me laugh, I'll dump him. be like the day we got 2 strikes, 1 extra left, you clear the board, but this time the family can still.
If a man can't make a drink, I'll dump him.
Okay. Gotta be a bartender. Can't make a drink, I'm out. If a man can't make blank, I'll dump him.
Make me look good?
If a man can't make me look good. Number 6. Let's go to question 2. Give me Kira, give me Joe. Top 8 answers on the board. Here we go. Name a fruit you would not want to swallow whole if it came out.